Okay, so before we even get started, I just want to interject something. This is me from the future. Well, the future from when I recorded the video, it's the present to me, but whenever you're watching this, it's the past, so whatever. Um, so there's a few things that I want to do really, really quickly just to fix some lingering bugs. So in the board script, if you could open that up right away, in the fill board coroutine, we need to take this refill board method and put it after the refill delay. So I'm just going to take this line right here. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to paste it right after the refill delay. The reason why is in the logic that I've set up on this, the fill board coroutine gets called right after the columns collapse, or pretty much at the same time that the columns are collapsing, which means that it might refill over some places that are going to be refilled by other pieces, and that can cause a doubling of pieces. So we just want to make sure that this refill board call, this method call, is after our short delay. The other thing we want to make sure that we do really quickly, and this is left over from the data between scenes, is in the game data script, we want to change, actually we don't want to change this, we just want to add another little method. So we're going to leave the void on disable there, but we're also going to add a private void on application quit. And this means that when we quit out from the application, we want to save the data. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's it from the future. I'm going to put you back on the regular episode now. Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at how we can fix our bomb finding algorithm, because there's a few issues with that. Sometimes it'll give you a column or row bomb when it should be adjacent, or sometimes it won't even recognize that it should make a bomb. So we're going to fix that today. Before we do that, there's a couple things I wanted to point out that were brought up by people who were watching this. First, when you're building for Android, you can build the APK and then install the APK like I did in the video. The other option you have is if you go to File and then choose Build and Run instead of what I had chosen, then I don't want to do that right now. It will build and run to the Android device that is currently attached to your computer. That way you can have access to all of the debugging statements and everything like that. So that's one thing that was brought up, and I might go into that a little more in depth in the future. The other thing that was brought up is another way that you can save on some of your memory resources is if you go into your scripts here, let's go into the base game scripts, and actually, before I do this, there's one thing I want to do really fast. I want to go to my board object, which is right here. I'm going to add a tag to this. So, yet another tag, plus, and I'm just going to make this tag board, and apply that tag to my board object. Now, when I go into a script that's using the board, like say the dot here, I'm going to open this up in in Visual Studio. So I didn't have it open, so I'll be right back once it's open. Okay, so in the dot script here, I need to have a reference to the board. What I'm doing right now is I'm declaring it privately, and then I am assigning it in the start method. Now in this case, it needs to be private. It can't be public because I'm creating dots dynamically, and I can't always tell them where it's going to be in the scene because I'm creating them on the fly. However, one thing I can do to conserve a little bit of resources here, just going to comment out that line, is instead of using find object of type, which Unity in its documents even says is very slow, I can use something different that's a little bit faster. And so I'm going to say board is equal to game object dot find with tag, and then the tag I want to find is board. The reason that this is, oops, what's wrong with that? Oh, and then I want to get the board from it. Dot get component board. Okay, so the reason that this is a little faster than this, even though it looks like it should be more complex, is this is finding an object that has a hint manager on it, which means that it's going through, or sorry, not hint manager, board on it, which means it's going through every object and every component of every object, and it's finding the one, or at least the first one that has the board attached to it. If you're doing it this way, it's only going to find the objects that are tagged board, which right now is only one thing, and then getting the component from that. So this is faster. You can add tags to your things like your hint manager, your endgame manager, and your find matches. And then that way, instead of using find object of type, you can use find with tag, and that'll find it faster. Shout out to, I swear I'm gonna murder your name here, I'm sorry, Sheikh Uzman, for pointing that out to me. That is something I've done before, but totally forgot about it on this project. Pardon me. And I'm just kind of in the habit of doing find object of type, despite the fact that I know it's very slow. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now, let's go back to the board script here. So board, and I'm going to fold my code so that I can find the methods I want, so that this isn't quite so overwhelming. And what I want to do is there's two specific methods I want to look at today. The first method is the find bombs method. I think that's what it's called anyway. And then the second method is the column or row method. So I'm going to be using those two. I'm just going to be rewriting them, and I'm actually going to be making them quite a bit simpler than they were, and it's going to work better this way. Check to make bombs, not find bombs. Check to make bombs. And column or row. These are the two methods we're going to be using. But I'm just going to quickly fold all of this code here. Okay, now that all my code is folded, I'm going to go to check to make bombs first. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just comment out the method that's here. I'm going to start by commenting a section by doing a slash and then an asterisk. And then I'm going to go all the way down to the end of the method and catch that asterisk and end with another slash. And so that comments out an entire section. I like doing this instead of just deleting it because I know this code mostly worked, so I don't want to just delete it because I might forget how it went or just anything like that. So I'm also, code folding gives you the option to fold everything that's in that section, so that's really nice. So here's what we're going to do for our check to make bombs. So first we want to check to see how many things are in the current matches. So how many objects are in find matches, current matches. So to do that, we're going to do if find matches dot current matches dot count is greater than 3, because we're only going to create a bomb if there's more than 3 objects in that. Then we're going to have to do some checking to see if we need to make a bomb. Now, we won't always make a bomb if the count is greater than 3, but we do need to check every time the count is greater than 3. Now, what I'm going to do for this now is in column or row, I'm going to comment out all of this again. So asterisk slash to catch it. And then in here, this is what I'm going to be called. And I'm also going to change this from being a bool to being an integer as a return. So instead of being private bool, it's going to be private integer. And this is going to return what kind of bomb I need to make. Column or row turned red because I don't have a return statement in here anywhere. So I'm just going to add return 0, just because I don't like seeing that red there. All right, cool. So here's what we want to do. First, I want to make a copy of the current matches because I don't want to do too much with it that might alter it. So make a copy of the current matches. And so to do that, I'm going to make a list of game objects, and I'm going to call it match copy. I'm going to set that equal to find matches dot current matches as a list. I think that's, no, that's not, oh, it's, do I need to do list of game objects? Probably. so it's not the generic type. Right, okay, cool. So GameObjectMatchCopy is equal to findMatches.currentMatches. You can't just do findMatches.currentMatches, you have to add this as a list of game objects. Otherwise, it's not going to generate properly. So first we're making a copy of the list of the current matches. Next thing that we want to do is we want to cycle through all of match copy and decide if a bomb needs to be made. So when I say cycle through all of match copy to decide if a bomb needs to be made, here's what I mean. So we're going to make a for loop. We're going to go from I is equal to 0, I is less than match copy dot count, I plus plus. And then in here, what we want to do is for every dot that we're looking at, for every piece that we're looking at, we want to check the pieces that are also in that match copy list. If there are 3 others that have the same column or 3 others that have the same row and are the same type, then we're going to generate a column bomb. If there's 2 others that have the same column and 2 others that have the same row and are the same type, we're going to generate a column or an adjacent bomb. And if there's 4 others of the same row and the same type, then we're going to generate a color bomb. So maybe I should just go to the document camera to explain that. Hold on. Okay, so here's what I mean. Let's say that we have a dot here that's this color, and then 2 more that are that color, and then a dot here that's that color. If we move this into place, as we're going through, if we check one of these and we decide that there are 3 others that have the same type and are on the same row or on the same column, so like for example here we could have like that if I move this there. Because there's 3 others that have the same row and the same column, exactly 3, so we can use the double equals qualifier, then we're going to make either a column or a row bomb, and we already have a method to decide if we should make a column or a row bomb in findMatches. So all we have to do is call findMatches dot, I think it's make column or row or something like that. So that's what we want to check. The same is going to be true, so let's say we have I'm out of room here. I'm going to just erase a little bit. So the problem with the adjacent bomb before is that I completely misunderstood how many possibilities we could have for having an adjacent bomb. So rather than adding the possibilities to our current list, we're just going to rewrite this, and it actually ends up being simpler. So let's say we have a situation here where we have these are all the same color here. And if we move this piece down, we're going to have an L shape. Well, when this piece moves down, we're going to have 2 others that are the same row and 2 others that are the same column and the same type. And so that means that this is going to be an adjacent bomb. And that will only happen when we have an adjacent bomb. And it happens in both situations for adjacent bombs. It happens when it makes an L, and it happens when it makes a T. So if we have this here, this moves down, we have 2 others that share the same row and are the same type, and 2 others that share the same column and are the same type. So that's kind of the logic behind what we're doing. Okay, so now that we understand the logic a little bit better, hopefully, let's kind of go through this. So first we're going to store this dot. So whichever dot we're currently on, dot I. And to do that, I'm going to say that this dot is equal to match copy I, so whichever one we're currently on in match copy, dot get component, and the component we want to get is dot. Okay, and so the next thing I want to do is I want to store the column and row of this dot. So I'm going to make 2 different integers. So I'm going to say integer column is equal to this dot column, and integer row is equal to this dot row. And then I'm going to keep track of how many column matches and row matches I have. So I'm going to say integer column match equals 0 and integer row match equals 0. So I'm keeping track of the current dots column, the current dots row, and how many column and row matches I have. Next, I'm going to cycle through the rest of the dots, or pieces, I guess, they're not dots anymore, and compare. So I want to compare every other dot to this dot. So I'm going to say for integer I equals 0, I is, oh sorry, we're not going to use I this time, we're going to use j. J equals 0, j is less than match copy dot count, j plus plus. Let's store the next dot. So I'm going to say dot next dot is equal to match copy j dot get component dot. And now I'm going to do a couple things to compare this. So first I want to see, is the next dot the same thing as this dot? So if next dot equals this dot, then I want to increase the column and the, actually I just want to continue. I don't need to increase that. So I just want to continue. Continue means to go to the next iteration of the for loop. So if we're checking the dots and this next dot is the same thing as that other dot, which could happen because I'm iterating through the same list, I just want to continue. I just want to go one more. Now I want to also check to see if next dot dot column is equal to this dot dot column and their tags are the same. Next dot dot tag. Actually, let's do it a different way. It's more efficient to use compare tag. So next dot dot compare tag, and the tag I want to compare it to is this dot dot tag. Compare tag returns true if it is what's in the parentheses, and it's more efficient to do that than it is to use the double equals. Because of the way that Unity is structured. So if that's true, then I want to say that column match increases by 1. And then I want to do the same thing for the rows here. I'm going to copy this. So copy and paste. And only this time it's going to be rows. So next dot dot row, this dot dot row, and then I don't need to change anything with the tags. And instead of increasing the column match, I'm going to increase the row match. Okay, cool. So I'm going through all of this in order to check what the column and row matches are. So inside this for loop, the first one, not the second one, outside of the second one, I'm going to do some comparisons to tell what kind of match it is. So I'm going to return 1 if column or row match. I'm going to return 2. Actually, let's do this a different way because we got to talk about priority. Return 3 if it's column or row. Return 2 if it's adjacent. And return 1 if it's a color bomb. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have your priority for which bombs get created. So for example here, if I were to say if column match is equal to 2, or row match is equal to 2, which means I have 2 other pieces that, actually, sorry, 3. What am I thinking? If I have 3 other pieces that match this row or this column, then we're going to create a row or column bomb. Now, what's the problem with that is it's going to return here, which means it exits the method, and it's never going to check to see if it should be a color bomb. So I just want to have the color bomb one come first. So I want to say if it's 4, then I'm going to return the color bomb. So return 1. Then I want to check to see if column match equals 2 and row match equals 2. Then I'm going to return 2 for the adjacent BOM. And if column match equals 3 or row match equals 3, then I'm going to return 3, which is a column or row BOM. So fold that code there. So this is shorter than what we had. I have a whole bunch of comments in here, which makes it kind of longer, but this is the bulk of the code that we need to do. So I'm going to fold that down. And now in here, if our find matches.current matches.count is greater than 3, that's the only time that we're going to look to see if there's a BOM, then what we want to do is we want to find out what that column or row returns as an integer. So I'm going to create a new integer here, and I'm going to say integer type of match equals column or row. So that's going to return 0, 1, 2, or 3. It's going to return 0 if there's no matches. If it goes through everything and can't find the correct number of matches, it's going to return 1 if it's a color BOM, 2 if it's an adjacent BOM, and 3 if it's a row BOM. So that's creating that integer and assigning it. So just comment this out. How many, actually let's just say what type of match. And then now I want to check to see a few different situations with type of match. So we're going to say if type of match is equal to 1, then we're going to create the color BOM. And the color BOM code is already in here. I neatly commented it out. So I'm going to take everything from make a color BOM down to there, I think. No, here. Okay, so I'm going to take all of that make a color BOM code, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it in here. So make a color BOM. I'm going to fold this down. And actually, let's expand that for a second. There we go. So if type of match is 1, we're going to make a color BOM. Else if type of match is equal to 2, we're going to make an adjacent BOM. And I also already have the code for the adjacent BOM right here. So I'm going to grab all of this adjacent BOM code, which goes to there, I think. Nope, goes one more down. So I'm going to copy that and paste it in here. Okay, so if type of match is 2, we're going to make an adjacent BOM. And then the next thing we want to do is check for the column or row BOM. So else if type of match is equal to 3, then we just have to call column, is it column or row? Oh yeah, find matches.checkBOM. So that's what we need to call. So I'm going to copy that and paste it right there. Okay, so I got all of these errors. I'm assuming I missed, yeah, I totally missed a brace somewhere. I'm willing to bet it's here. Yep. Okay. There we go. That should fix it. Okay, still have... Oh, okay. Ha ha ha. Alright, so... those are good now, but... there. There we go. Okay, cool. So, fold that comment. Fold this, and this, and this. So it looks like a lot of code, I know, but it's not really that much because most of it is stuff that we had already written. I didn't mean to fold that one. I meant to fold this one. Most of it's stuff that we've already written. The only thing that's really new is this new part of column or row. So that's the new code that we have. Now, I'm going to save my script here. I'm going to go back into Unity, and let's try this out. Okay, so let me maximize this. I'm going to play this for a little bit, see if I can get every type of bomb. Right away I can get a color bomb. So there we go. And that also created a column or row bomb. Alright, cool. So yeah, I'm going to fast forward while I do this, but I'm going to test to see if I can get the bombs to create correctly. Okay, so there's an adjacent bomb forming nicely. Okay, cool. So now this reminds me of one more thing that we need to fix, and this is something that came up when I was playing around. If you have a column bomb that turns into a row bomb, or vice versa, the game will kind of freak out a little bit. So let's fix that. In your find matches script, go ahead and open that up. We want to take a look at the this adjacent bomb is fine. Is row bomb, is column bomb. Add to list and match. Get nearby pieces. Final matches, match pieces of color, get adjacent pieces, get column pieces, get row pieces, check bombs. Oh, okay. Cool. So here's where we need to be, is inside check bombs. So if board current dot is matched, we're going to make it unmatched. And then board dot current dot. So we're checking the make column bomb and the make row bomb are the methods we need to go look at. So make column bomb and make row bomb. So in the actual dot, sorry, is where we need to be then. So in your dot script, I'm going to go all the way down here to when we're making our bombs. So, for make column bomb and make row bomb, and honestly for all of these other ones too, we don't want to have it turn into a row bomb if it's already a column bomb or an adjacent bomb, because that's going to make Unity's going to freak out. It's not going to know what to do. So, we're going to say, if not is column bomb and not is color bomb. No. Come on now. And not is adjacent bomb. So we're only going to call this if those three things aren't true. If those three things are false. So we're going to do the same thing for the column bomb, only checking different things here. So if not is row bomb, and not is color bomb, and not is adjacent bomb. Okay, and there we go. And then for the color bomb and the adjacent bomb, I'm going to do the same thing. So if not is, yeah, column bomb, and not is row bomb, and not is adjacent bomb. And last one, if not is column bomb, and not is row bomb, and not is color bomb. Yep. Okay, cool. So that was just one thing I noticed when I was playing around with the build the other day, is that sometimes you could have a situation where one bomb turns into another, and then if you try to match that, Unity would freak out. It wouldn't know what to do. So yeah, okay, cool. There we go. We've got a better bomb finding method. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them on the comments down below. You can follow me on Twitter to find out when I post a new video. You can join my Discord, where I'm chatting pretty much every day. And yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.